Welcome to the Segmented Podcast, the show where we bring you 3 segments each episode ranging from discussion to improv. How you doing, Noah?
Freaking pumped. I'm so pumped, man. I'm so pumped.
You pumped?
I'm so pumped.
I think we
Pump
got
up the jams.
a little too pumped up before
so pumped.
the episode.
Oh, I'm so
It might
pumped.
be a bit of a pumped episode today.
Yeah, a pugged episode. That's what I heard you say. Pugs.
Pug! There's
There
gonna
was
be
so
lots
many,
of pugs
so
on
many
the
pugs
episode.
here. It's gonna be
I'm
pugging
not-
awesome.
I'm not taking my teeth apart when I talk.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna take my teeth apart the whole flipping time unless I'm real angry. Arr. Garg.
That's how you sound angry through audio. If they can't see you. Just put your teeth together.
Just, man, I feel angry. Oh, that actually really hurts my teeth. I'm gonna stop doing that. Anyway, the reason I'm so pumped is because we're doing a brand new episode of basically all brand new segments.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This
I'm really
is exciting.
I'm freaking pumped.
I'm pumped, man.
I'm so pumped.
First, we're gonna do a segment where we're going to break something, but instead of it being a band or a movie, we're gonna break a product.
Ooh, we're gonna create a product. Let's do this.
Then we're going to play a little game with stock photos called What You Don't See. And then we're going to end with a third segment called I Don't Know, Man, which we came up with right before the podcast because we weren't sure what segment we were going to do. So we just put I Don't Know, Man, and it turned into a new segment.
Let's see. Let's find out. Freaking pumped. Oh, yeah,
My throat hurts.
Segment 1. Oh, I'm so... Just kidding. Segment 1. We're going to start off with creating like an infomercial product as seen on iTunes, as heard on iTunes product. We're going to use this random word generator in order to create an infomercial product. You can find this in the show notes. Ben, what words do you have?
What? Okay, why are primates so common? I have generation, primate, biplane, barbed wire, pipe, and famous.
Okay, I have an idea. We each do 3 random words, and then we have to combine them, all 6 words, into making a product.
Okay.
Or we each
Got
get
it.
2, and it's a 4-word product or something. Okay,
All
we're
right.
each gonna get 2 random words. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom. Heating, donut. What's yours?
That's good, but I have conquest and complicated. Can we make separate products with whatever our 2 words?
Okay, I got this. So, basically, this is a product that allows you to heat your donuts while conquesting? Maybe we just go with my 2 words.
Let's do that. So donut heating. You don't want your donuts to get stale, so you just keep them hot all the time, which
Yes.
obviously fixes it. I'm a culinary expert.
I'm
What was
George
it?
Foreman Grill.
Okay, we need a name for the guy, the spokesman.
Oh, his name is Donnie Heatington.
So this is for people going on conquests in
Yes.
the medieval times.
Are you
And
sick and
how-
tired of your donuts getting cold while you're out on a conquest?
Right, because if you're going to a cold place, your donuts that you conveniently keep in your satchel,
Yes.
unboxed,
Yeah.
they get very cold
Yep.
when you go in cold places. So you have
Yes.
to keep them warm somehow.
Correct.
And it doesn't need to be so complicated. It's as
Exactly.
simple as
1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Basically, how our product works, the donut heater. It is a bagel-shaped compartment that conveniently is also shaped like a donut because bagels and donuts are the same shape. Has a little tiny circle in it, and it is made of metal, and it is electric, and so you can just put your little donut in there, close it down, and press the button, and it will keep your donuts nice and warm.
you can also put snakes in there. It keeps your snake.
That is
your
true.
Snake nice and
Multi-purpose
warm.
product.
If your bagel isn't toasted, you can.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work on bagels. It does work
it
on
just-
snakes and donuts, though.
It's uncompatible.
Yes,
Well,
it's incompatible with with bagels.
I mean,
Unfortunately.
and the nice thing is, it's got a battery pack that you.
Yes, it actually has a USB slot on it, so you can charge your phone while you're conquesting and heating your donuts.
It doesn't have.
Yeah, it does. That's how you power it. True story.
Okay, it's also got an aux cable. It functions
does.
as a speaker.
It does have speakers on it, indeed. Yes, and it also works with frosted donuts. Except you're gonna have to bring your own frosting and use our other product called the frosting cooler, where basically it keeps your frosting nice and cool, and then you can bring out your heated donut, slather it on there, and then just
So
shove it in your
I'm
mouth.
imagining like it's like exactly to a donut shape. So like
Yeah.
you stick it in there and like it kind of squishes part of it out, and you open the thing up and it's like stuck to all the sides, and you have to like tear it out. It's like barely edible at that point.
Yes, and if you end up using a glazed donut, that will get everywhere. We suggest using our other product, the glazed container.
You might be thinking, you have to charge this thing, right? Heck no. That's for the losers of the past. You don't need to charge it. You don't gotta plug it in. You don't even have to stick a battery. You don't have to buy AAA's. You just stick coal in there. It runs off of coal.
It does indeed.
It's
and
so
if you spend
easy.
$4,327, you can get the special nuclear-powered donut heater. Order now, and you get a free frosting cooler.
Uranium not included.
I mean, yeah, no, it doesn't come with the uranium. You're gonna have to get that yourself. But who did the real work? We did. We designed this product, and we know
I
what we're
think we
talking
made
about.
100% efficient, a very useful product for all of the donut loving conquestors across the kingdom. Question
True.
mark.
Very true. Yes, of course. I think this is. Did you know that critics are saying that this is the #1 product for conquesting donut lovers? So
Critics are saying we're giving OxyClean and Flex Tape a run for their money with the donut heatinator.
the donut heatinator 420.
Yep.
Yep,
It's
that's our second line of products.
completely
for-
unrelated.
Yes,
Completely, the
completely.
number has
Yeah.
nothing
Nope.
to do with the
Anything.
product.
Nope, nothing. Absolutely nothing. If you're the cops. If you are some other people who live in Washington,
It's got some other
then-
features. Wink.
wink. But if you're the police, there's no other features. It just does the
No.
same exact thing.
Nope.
Wink.
None of them.
Exactly.
I'm
By
seeing
now.
there's an underground like community for this. Like there's these forums and like people mod it and they're like really passionate about like their modified like donut heatinator 420.
I have been to some pretty wild parties, and I said, "Hey, did you know that I invented the donut heaterator 5000?" And they're like, "Yeah, what?" And they don't believe me because it's such a great invention.
And then they pull out their phone to call the cops, and I kill them with my donut heatinator. I open it up and I press it against their face, and it burns their skull.
Yep.
It's also a weapon, but only
Yes.
we know that.
Yeah, but if you're the cops, it's not a weapon. But if you're anybody else, it may or may not be a weapon. It is.
So hold on.
wink.
Let me get this straight. We basically just created like a I'm seeing a gang symbol. Like this is a tool for like criminals.
No,
but, like,
what? Hey, you know what? The donut heater 420 is the product that's so versatile. It can be used for anything. It can be used for snakes, donuts, not glazed donuts or frosted donuts, or it doesn't work on bagels, but it can be used for basically anyone. Buy anyone for anything.
Okay.
Buy it for your dog. See what happens. You might not have a dog after that, but it's fine. Buy now. Call 1-800-DONUT-CALL-US.
Donut call us.
Segment 2, we're going to be doing a brand new segment known as What You Don't See, which because it's a podcast is everything, but that's not relevant.
You don't see anything,
That's
yeah.
whatever. I didn't think of that when we named this. So basically, we found a bunch of stock photos that are a little absurd, but not super crazy and improbable. And so what we're going to do is we're going to, first and foremost, we're going to explain to you what's going on in the photo, and then we're going to tell you about how they got there. We don't necessarily know because this is all made up on the spot. So we hope you enjoy. So this first one is a picture of a man with a beard giving what looks like bourbon to his pet chicken, and he's very happy about it.
He's very happy. He's got this big smirk. He's got a cigar in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he's wearing a dress shirt.
Yes.
He's very happy about giving this live chicken in his other hand a drink
Yes.
of of alcohol.
Uh-huh. And what I didn't realize is that he's wearing sunglasses on his head, on the top of his head. So imagine this guy in a dress shirt holding a chicken and then offering and like holding the bottle of bourbon right up to this chicken's mouth. That's what we have here. And so what you don't see is the fact that this man actually, this was his wife, and she got turned into a chicken by a wizard.
So he's having some drinks with his wife, is what you're saying?
Well, that's what you'd think I've been saying, but what
Right.
I'm really saying, if you
Right.
look at the picture, the chicken is not happy. So some point along the way, he accidentally lost his real wife and accidentally replaced her with a chicken.
So this is a different chicken.
It is.
That is not consenting to drinking, but he thinks that it's his wife.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
They're currently on a date. That is exactly what's happening in this picture.
Is this what dating looks like? Because I can't say I've ever been on a date where I have a chicken in my right arm, a bourbon in the left, and I'm gonna take your word for it.
It's different when you're married to a chicken and your chicken is your wife. So
That's true.
I mean,
I'm also not of drinking age, so I can't.
Well, I was also going to note that, but I thought it was less relevant.
Right, to the chicken part, because most people
mhm.
aren't chickens. Yeah.
Okay. Ben, what's happening in this next photo?
Well, okay, I feel like we gotta address this one because you pointed out how lackluster it is, but to be honest, there's some drama going on here. So we have a picture of this woman in very formal business attire, and she's got glasses on, she's got her hair pulled back, she's on her laptop, looks like she's doing some work. At least one hand is doing some work. The other one is around her child, who is sitting like half on top of the computer.
And also sitting on top of the desk that the computer is on. So her baby child, presumably, is sitting on top of the desk. Yes.
So if you thought it was, like, oh, haha, like, she brought her child to work, or like, haha, this is what it's like to be a stay-at-home mom working from home. No, it's not. She's actually selling said child on the internet as we speak, and she's looking at the child to describe the features in the description.
Yes, and also in this picture, she has a very large smile on her face, and that is because she is looking at how much her nose is actually worth. The baby's nose.
She's very excited, and she's thinking about all the things she's going to be able to buy with the money that she gets back from this child. And the reason she's in a business attire is because this was like a big business deal. Like, she had the child in order to make money off of it. This is like her business. She has like an LLC called like Babies for You.
It's actually called Babies R Us, which is different from the actual Babies R Us.
No, you can't call it Babies R Us. You can't do that. So that's that photo. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna go with the other one, which is, I'd say it's a little more normal. There's a couple, there's an elderly couple, and they're wearing all white, and they're in a room that's all white, like completely, like there's white flowers, white walls, white windows, a white bed, white sheets. Anyway,
everything in the entire picture is white except for one jar of blue
there's
substance
this blue, like, or maybe
in the
a
background.
lamp.
Yes.
Ugh.
And so this elderly couple, they are jumping on the bed and having fun, and they're suspended in midair. The title of this is Love Lives Forever. Senior couple at home. Handsome old man and attractive old woman are enjoying spending time together, having fun and jumping in bed.
Doesn't matter. The description has nothing to do with it. What's happening is, if you've ever seen Inception, what's happening here is the kick just happened, and so they're like messing around. Like, they're supposed to be doing like the job inside of the psyche of like the person that they've incepted, but they're kind of gone rogue.
Time is frozen in this picture, and that blue thing in the background is actually a vial of very expensive time vortex juice.
That's That's
Yep.
exactly right. That's what they were trying to get. And but the rest of the team made the mistake of leaving them in that reality, and then they're just messing around on the bed, not doing what they're supposed to. And see, like, to us it's like, haha, they're jumping on the bed, but no, like outside, like everything's white, like
Everything's white. They are in the ether. There's
the world is
nothing,
ending. This is their fault.
Yes. The world is currently exploding. That is why there's just one very bright white light in the outside the window. There's literally nothing but a white void because that vortex has sucked all the color out of the world and contained it in this one room that is now suspended in time. Our final one, and also I'd like to note that all of these can be found in the show notes. So our final one is of this woman, and she is in a room with a white wall, and there's a wood desk, and she is holding her phone in her right hand in front of her, and with her left hand, it's kind of out to her side with her fingers all spread out, if you can imagine that. So she has an iPhone in her hand, and on her head is a 3-dimensional laughing crying emoji.
Like her head literally just is like the laughing
Yes.
crying emoji.
Yes.
And I want to note that the reason why it's crying is the description says right here, woman wearing tears of joy emoji mask while looking at phone. This emoji is laughing so much that it is crying tears of joy. So if you're wondering why there were tears, was because it's laughing so hard that there's tears coming out of
Except
the
that's
eyes.
just what the site is telling you. What is actually happening is that she got turned down for the Emoji Movie, and fortunately for her, it ended up being terrible. And so this is her reaction after she found out how terrible of a movie it was.
Right. I mean, well, there's one thing that she literally is the laughing crying emoji. So like she has no other emotion besides that. But it like makes sense in this context because she's like, haha, they made the movie and it was terrible. Now I'm glad I wasn't in it.
Yep.
So it's not tragic. It's
No.
not crying. It's actually crying, laughing.
Yes. Entirely
different.
different than laughing crying. So yeah, that's what's happening in this picture. Segment 3. We're going to do a brand new segment known as I Don't Know, Man.
It's basically one of us is going to ask the other an absurd question as to why something is a certain way, and the other one has to come up with an explanation. And then the other one just says, I don't know, man. That's the segment.
Wait, so we don't have to come up with the answers? I thought that was the whole
No,
thing.
you do. Like the other, like in a casual conversation,
Oh.
you're going to be like,
God.
you know what? You could scratch the catchphrase. You just say the explanation, and it's over. I just wanted to say, I don't know, man, because that was funny to me. I thought that was like a bit.
I don't know, man. Maybe it will be
Okay.
someday. You can
All
say
right.
it. I'm just still kind of confused as to how you would shoehorn
I'm
that
gonna
in.
go. I'm gonna
Okay.
go first because I
Okay,
want to
go for it.
torture you.
Okay.
Also, this is my worst one. Noah,
Yes.
why did you hire a mime to come to the funeral?
Oh, have you ever seen a mime? They're really sad. I needed the tone to be much sadder than it actually was.
So they're like emotional control.
Exactly. If you see a mime stuck in a box, it's pretty depressing. So I want to keep that there to keep it modulated.
You don't feel like that's gonna be like out of place?
Oh, no, absolutely not. Have you met my family? Obviously not.
Okay, well, I suppose that would make sense if I knew your family. Context.
Ben, why does every pessimistic gorilla have to go to the hospital in an ambulance due to mental anguish and his democratic agenda?
Okay, well, as you know, there's some pretty big political things going on between the primates and such.
Very
The
true.
humans obviously being on the heavy Republican side, the gorillas being on the Democratic. There's some that are so far to the left side though, they become so cynical that a gorilla can't withstand the sort of level of negativity and like mental strain. I know it's hard for you to understand, but you have to understand. I know how these things work.
Yes,
That
of course.
they actually have to go to the hospital and they have to have their brains rewired to be Republicans. There's a lot of controversy because they call it like brainwash or like you're not allowed to change people's opinions against their will or something like that. But it's for the gorillas better. This is also not a political statement. I'm not saying anything. It's just a part of the question. So I was just answering it truthfully and what it's about. So
I'm so glad that you got that question because I would have had no idea. But also, like, saying that the Democrats were the gorillas could be kind of really triggering, but I didn't even think of that.
I have no stance. So.
Hey, you know what? That was completely unbiased. It did not say anything about either of our political views.
I don't know anything.
But also, I'd like to say that I got all of these words from a random word generator, and Democratic was one of them, so I put it in there. It has
I'm sure
nothing
the
to
government's agenda would say on All right. No, I have a question for you. It's been troubling me for a long time.
Yes, of course.
So it shouldn't be that hard to answer, but Noah, why does your refrigerator make everything hot during the day and cold during the night, except for on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Christmas when it switches and makes everything cold during the day and hot during the night?
That is a very good question, and I've been wondering that for years, and then I realized that it's because I was homeschooled.
Really? So they just taught you.
I was taught how to rewire back when I was 3, and I accidentally did it wrong. But we don't have enough money to change it. That's the real reason.
So you're homeschooled, meaning you're both poor, but you also learn things at a very young age.
Yes.
All right, I'll take it.
Okay, Ben.
Yep.
This is about the greater society.
Why
do all the shrimp in zoos reject the drugs given to them by civilization?
Okay, so Noah, you have to understand 2 things. You have to understand the drug cartel. You gotta understand the shrimp industry.
Yes, of course.
So the shrimp industry has been on the down and down as of late. And the government's been really cracking down on the drug cartel.
Cracking down?
Cracking down, yes. This is no laughing matter, Noah. These are real issues that are happening today.
I'm sorry.
So basically what the cartels found out is they have to get really creative with how they exchange drugs. They can't just go in an alleyway anymore, or you can't like have a secret meeting spot or go to some like international territory. You can't do that. The government knows all this stuff. So as I said, they've gotten really creative. So what they've started doing is they've started feeding the drugs to shrimp. And then what happens is then the ones that are receiving the drugs are shrimp fishermen, and they work with them. And what they do is they get all the shrimp, and then they extract the drugs back out of the shrimp.
Oh, genius.
Problem is they've been doing this for so many years that the shrimp's bodies have started rejecting the drugs and like spewing them out, which then like pollutes the whole ecosystem. And then you got cocaine and heroin and whatever going into sharks, and it's a bad deal. But yeah, that's why the shrimps have been rejecting the drugs that civilization gives them.
Okay, I'm starting to really like this segment. Okay,
I really like this one. Okay, Noah.
Yes, Ben.
Now, I'm pretty sure you can't blame this one on homeschooling. Why is it that every time zombies take over the world, I catch you running through the streets, screeching the theme to Friends in nothing but a Speedo and an original Confederate Civil War helmet?
You know what? Sometimes when zombies attack, which happens a lot more than you'd think, it's happened 4 times just in my lifetime, and people need to remember what America was before the zombies. And do you know what it was? It was about being there for you. And it was about the Confederate flags. And what you forgot to mention is that my Speedo is, in fact, of the American flag. So...
It is, yeah.
Yes, it is. And everyone who has seen me run through the streets knows that. And so what I want to do is I want to give America hope again for the future that we can get through this zombie crisis. And the only way that I know how to do that is by running through the streets in a Speedo, telling people that I'll be there for them. And, you know, I gotta clap. So,
Really
Yes.
inspiring, bringing people together.
Exactly.
During
That
some hard
is
times.
that is why I do it. I do it for the children, Ben. I do it for the children and for posterity.
I don't think anyone wants to see that, especially children.
It's fine. Whatever.
I mean, there are zombies running around, so I suppose it doesn't matter at that point. Wow, that was a lot more inspiring than any explanation I would have given for something so absurd and obscene. I have some newfound respect for you and your love for both Friends and the Confederates. That's a thing now.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that you're politically associated with that. So.
Oh wow, yes, of course. That is exactly what you should draw from that.
Definitely, great idea. Great idea.
So,
Yep.
Ben, we like to have fun, but I have a very serious topic to ask you about, and you seem to know about this subject matter. So,
Okay.
why is it not accepted by society to deep fry cannibals, even if they're eating your best friend's wife and children?
Why is it not accepted by society?
Yeah,
So, I guess I should give you a little history lesson to go back.
that would be helpful. Yes.
Abraham Lincoln once said, if you give an eye for an eye, you leave the nation hungry, which is very true. When you take someone else's eye and also your eye, you get hungry, was the point that Abraham Lincoln was trying to make. And I guess in one way, when somebody eats your friend, you can't just go back and eat them, especially in the sort of deep fried way. Because, I mean, it's one thing to just run up, stab someone, like, eat a few organs, run away. Like, that's fine, all right?
Yeah.
Society's cool with that now. But, like, deep frying, okay, have you ever been to, like, Red Lobster where they take the lobster life and they, like, throw it in the boiling pot? It's disturbing.
No, I haven't.
You can't do that. Why would you can't, I mean, you can say it's a societal construct, but I would argue that it's very immoral to deep fry someone before eating them. Do I think that the justice system allows you to eat someone else if they, eat your friend? I mean, yeah, I think that's fine. But the deep frying, it's too far. It's like the death penalty, sort of. It's just immoral, to be honest. But as long as you're not deep frying anyone, go ahead, eat whoever you want.
I mean, that wasn't exactly the question, but I like where you took it.
I think I forgot most of the question.
Yeah, that's the issue with making it super complicated. I just remembered the thing about, like, I remembered that I was running through the street in a Speedo yelling this friends, and then there was also something about a Confederate flag, but I forgot about what exactly happened with it. But
maybe next time we'll write it down. Or maybe it's better that we just don't know what the original question was.
No, I think it's fine, because I don't think the listeners remember it verbatim, and so I think it's fine. Like, when you are doing improv on stage or something and you get audience suggestions, you don't necessarily have to use all of them, and even if you don't, the people in the audience aren't even going to remember what the original thing was, because they're just paying attention to what's happening. So
right,
yeah.
Right.
But I almost died when you said that deep frying them is almost like the death penalty, and I was like, they're pretty dead. If you deep fry them.
I was trying to make a comparison, like something that you would understand.
It's just immoral. That is the end of our show, and we hope you did enjoy it. What did we learn today, Ben?
I learned that if you're gonna heat your donut, you can't heat it with the frosting. You have to do that separately.
Very true. I learned that if you want to bring hope and inspiration back to America, run through the street in a Speedo with the Confederate flag singing the Friends theme song.
I also learned that if your wife is turned into a chicken, you got to double check the chicken is actually your wife and you didn't get swapped with another chicken, because you don't want to just start making all the chickens drunk by giving them bourbon. It's
very true. And finally, we learned that the cartel are very, very creative when it comes to smuggling drugs through shrimp.
It's true. It's true.
Yep. You can find us on Twitter at Nomich_, that's me, and at Tendo, that's Ben. And you can email us at segmented.fm@gmail.com and support the podcast on Patreon at patreon.com/segmentedfm, where you can get access to our Discord chat, where both Ben and I are occasionally. I'm there more often, so you can talk to us, have conversations and whatever. And
Yeah.
as well as listen to our recording sessions live. But the best way that you can support us is to leave a review on iTunes or Google Play or
good
wherever
one.
you listen.
A
Good
good-
one.
a
Yes,
good review.
preferably.
Preferably.
Yes, definitely. And to share it with your friends. Tell your friends about it. Say, hey, I like this podcast. It's awesome. Because believe it or not, we don't have very many listeners right now. I know. It's crazy.
Noah, look over there. It's a microwave falling down a mountainside and then eventually falling into a pile of hay. Wow. There it goes. Still going.
Okay, I will do the outro. I will read it because I don't want to get it wrong this time. I've never gotten it wrong, but that's irrelevant. Right now I'm recording. I'm so ready. I'm so
All right.
freaking ready.
Ready.
Gosh. 1. I forgot I started the countdown. Sorry, let's start it again. Oh, freaking 1,
2,
3, 4, 5,
6.